Hello, karibu SolidWorks Tanzania. Yeah, huu ni mwendelezo wa our industrial automation series. Previously tumeona a number of operations, tumefanya some practices too. So in this lesson, we're going to see other performance instructions in PLC programming. So on this window, upande huu wa kulia, hapa juu kabisa utaona kuna instructions. Okay, so unaona kuna general instruction, kuna bit logic operation, kuna timer operation where we have timer, pulse timer, timer on delay, turn off delay, timer on delay, retentive, etc. We see we have counters, we have up counter, down counter, and up down counters, and we see we have comparators, etc., etc. So in this presentation, first we're going to see about timers, timer operations. And on time operations, tunaanza na time on delay operation. So this one, time on delay operation, TON. So time on delay delays the setting of the output by the programmed time, preset time, preset time. Okay. So generally how it is ni kwamba, let's say you have a sensor ama a switch ambayo when you activate it, when the sensor is active, manake the input is high, ama the switch is active, okay, then a timer on delay is going to delay the output coming on for a certain time that is preset, okay. For example, naweza sema when the sensor sees an object, when the sensor is active, ama the input is on, wait for 5 seconds, then turn on the light, ama then turn on the motor, right? So delay timer manake ina delay the response of the output with a preset time, okay? So in basic operations, so when the input turns on, so the timer starts counting, okay. When the preset time is reached, kama ulikuwa umeset 5 second, ikifikiwa, then the output turns on. So tutasema if the input turns off early, kwa mfano ukazima, labda una switch turn on, afu na count 1 2 3, alafu uka switch off before haijafikia ile preset timer, then the timer resets, ina begin from 0 na output doesn't come on, right? So let's say it's an operation. So let's say in this circuit, let's say first let's go to the tags. Let's have an input. An input inaweza kuwa sensor, inaweza kuwa switch. So let's say we have an input, and then we have an output. Okay, so an output is Q. So this is Q 0.2, 0.0. All right. Output inaweza kuwa motor, inaweza kuwa relay, yeah, inaweza kuwa any other actuator. And then we have we will have then we go back to the main here, and then here let's say we have an input switch, and then we drag drop TON, drag drop it on this green dot here, okay. Unaweza ukarename hii timer but unaweza ukaiacha, unaweza ukasema tu output timer ama delay timer, ama ukaacha tu the name as it is, then ukasema okay. Okay, so there you have a block of for time on delay, and then tuna set output yet there. Okay, so hapa tunaweza kaandika time on delay, on time delay. So hapa sasa kwenye input, let's say here we have our input ambao tumesema input inaweza ikawa sensor, inaweza ikawa switch, and then hapa kwenye preset time, this is the time. Je, unataka i delay for how long before ina activate the output? Na hapa time zinaandikwa in milliseconds, kwa maana kama unataka 5 seconds, that's 5000 milliseconds, then press enter. Elapsed time unaweza ukaiacha tu, kwa sababu elapsed time yenyewe inaonyesha tu what time has passed. Okay, kama umekuwa umesema preset time ni 5, so ina compare na elapsed time kwamba ni muda gani sasa umepita, labda 1 second, 2 second, 3 seconds, etc. Although hii value ya kwenye elapsed time unaweza ukaiweka kwenye temporary memory bit, Kwa mfano kwenye MD ukaisave kama double world, okay, elapsed time ikawa double world. Inaweza kuwa M identifier ama MD identifier, is all good. Okay, so and then hapa mwishoni we have an output, okay, like this. So let's say we compile. So we compile this. After compiling, let's say we go to online, then we start simulation. Start simulation. Okay. Start our simulation. So wait on it. Okay. Consider as trusted agent. Right. Then here tunasema load. Tukisema load hapo, tunakuja hapa tunasema start module, then say finish. Alright. So after that tunakuja hapa tunasema now download it to device, consider as trusted. Load, finish. Okay, and then tunakuja kwenye go online, afu tunasema monitor. Okay, so now to toggle the inputs, let's click here. Let's wait on it. So that means turn on input hapa, kukiwa na input kwa kuna signal kwenye input. When the input is high, there will be a delay of 5 seconds before the output gets on. Na kama tutastopisha input kabla ya muda hapo uja elapse, kabla ya 5 seconds, then hii timer ita reset na output will not turn off. I mean will not turn on unless you turn on, there's an input and 5 seconds has passed, then you can have your output. Okay, so right here say new. Okay, a project, let's say timers, maybe timers, save it to desktop, say create, and then we wait on it. Okay, let's wait on it again to have the sim table. Okay, here's the sim table. So click on this. Okay, let me close that. Sim table, and then here load the tags. Okay, so we have load the tags. All right, so tunakuja hapa chini. So this is what we have. Now let's toggle. So you see we have an input here, and an output. So if I switch on the input, see it's counting down. You see it's counting down in milliseconds, and then after 5 seconds the output is on. And then if I take out the input, then everything is reset. Okay, so hapa juu utaona ina count in milliseconds. Okay, so if I switch input on, so if we have an input is high, ama the sensor has sensed something, wait for 5 seconds, then turn on an output. So again, I'll toggle the input, then you see it's counting down, and then after 5 seconds, this turns on. If the input is off or the switch is off, the timer reset. Na ikitokea umeweka input off before the timer has counted to 5 seconds, it also reset. The output doesn't come on. So let's say input is on and then input is off. You see it has resetted. Anytime the input is not there, the timer is resetted. Provided the 5 second has not elapsed, the output will not be on. So that's it about timer on delay. So let me go offline. Now, let's see about a timer off delay. So a timer off delay yenyewe ina work in reverse. Okay, so the timer off delay. So let me delete this. Delete it with the keyboard. Delete. Okay. Then come here to instructions. Drag drop TOF, timer off delay. All right, and then say okay. All right. After that, preset timer for turning off. Let's say it's 5 milliseconds. 5,000 milliseconds. That's 5 seconds. All right. And now, and let me compile this and let me download this to the device kwa sababu simulation I already started the simulation. I just download the new program to the controller, and then I say go online, and then I can say here monitor. Okay, so timer off delay ina work vipi? Yenyewe ni kwamba timer off delay works like this. If the input is on, the output is high, then the output is also on. Okay, ukiswitch to on, kama sensor imeona an object ama the switch is on, the output will be on. But input turns off, kama input ikiwa off, now the input is 0, no signal on the input, then the output will wait for 5 seconds before shutting off. So when the preset time ends, ambayo ni 5 seconds ambayo tumeandika hapo, the output goes off. So input turning back on resets the timer. Kama ukiflip tena hiyo, unaona switch ya input, labda sensor imeona box, inasubiri dakika 5 before izime, labda tuseme una conveyor, alafu una timer off delay. Okay, alafu tuseme kwenye conveyor hii ni hapa kwenye input, hapa una exit sensor, kwamba kama box zimesha exit kutoka kwenye conveyor limeenda out, then wait for 5 seconds before turning off what? The conveyor motor. Sasa kama boxes zitaendelea kuja time to time, manake hii sensor itaendelea kusend high signal, high, na ikiwa natuma high signal kabla ile 5 seconds haijafikiwa, your conveyor will keep running. Then hizi boxes zikiisha, box ya mwisho ikipita 5 seconds zikapita bila any other input, ambao bila any box figured, ama bila any signal from the sensors, then the conveyor shuts off. I think you're getting the picture. Okay. For example, sehemu ambayo inatumika pia hii time of delay ni kama kwenye kiwanda ambacho let's say kina smoke, kina exhaust fan. Exhaust fan kwamba kuna blower ambao unataka kiwanda kina sehemu ambayo ina moshi. Okay? Labda kuna coal firing, ambayo labda hiyo coal firing labda ni ya kuendesha boiler. Alafu kuna kule kwenye incinerator, kule kwenye tanuru kuna blower ambayo inavuta moshi kutoka kwenye hiyo incinerator kwenda kwenye atmosphere. Ile blower inavovuta moshi kutoka ndani kwenda nje. Kwa mfano ukizima mashine sasa, labda umezima incinerator, umeiturn off. Sasa ile blow fan, badala ile blow fan kuzima exactly at that time ambapo umezima machine, unaweza ukaipa delay ya some seconds. Let's say wait for 1 minute, ndo iwe imesuck all the smoke out of the incinerator to the atmosphere. Kwa hiyo unaona unaweka time of delay kwenye ile feni, kwamba ukizima system, feni itasubiria kwa dakika moja nzima, itaendelea kutembea kwa dakika moja nzima, ile blower kutoa moshi wote nje ambao ulikuwepo upo ndani. Alafu baada ya dakika moja the blow fan will turn off. So let's come back here to the monitor and see. Let's try to turn this on. Let me call in the tags again. Okay, I called in the new tags. Hizi tags za juu naweza nikazi delete. Alright, naweza highlight nikazi delete, and then hapa let's say input is on. You see the input is on, the output is on. Okay, lakini tuki-turn off the input, so if the input, I turn off the input, you see the output stays on for extra 5 seconds before going off. I'm hoping you have captured that. So when the input is on, the output is on. Then if I turn off the input, let's say I'm switching off the system keeps going on for extra 5 seconds. Let's say the blower, and then turns off after the 5 seconds. I hope you have captured that. So let's go offline. Another timer operation here is called preset time. I'm a pulse timer. Preset timer, I'm a pulse timer. So key concept here, pulse timer. So let me delete this one and go back to instructions and drag drop at pulse timer TP to the green dot here and then say okay. Preset time, let's say 5 seconds. Okay, then okay. So how does it work? The key concept here, preset timer TP ama pulse timer, is that ina generate a fixed duration pulse, kwamba output ina stay on. Okay, output stays on for set time regardless of input duration. Yani hii sensor ama hii switch ama input ikiwa high, hii output ita stay on for 5 seconds before going off regardless of what happens on the input. Yani ikisha sense tu ta, output inakuwa on for 5 seconds and then it goes off. Hata kama utakuwa input inakuwa on off on off on off, the output will not flick. It will keep on staying on until the preset time is completed, then it will go off. So it's triggered on the rising edge of the input. Kama tulivyokuwa tunaangalia kule kwenye digital electronics, kuna rising edge na falling edge. Rising ina go from 0 low volt to high 1 high, and then ina stay normal, and then negative trigger ama falling edge inatoka from high 1 to 0. So the basic operation of a pulse timer ama preset timer, so the input pulse triggers the timer, kisha trigger timer, output turns on for the fixed duration. Kama uliset bana hii ikisense to input stay on for 1 minute, it will stay on for 1 minute regardless what happens on the input. So when the input is off, it doesn't affect the output timing. Yaani hata kama input itakuwa off, yenyewe itahakikisha kwamba inamaliza count the preset time before going off. Mfano ya application ni kama trigger buzzer that rings for exactly 2 seconds on button press. Unaona? Buzzer ama vibrator. Like if you press it, it vibrates like for 5 seconds, then stops. Right? Let's see how this works. Compile this network and then download it to the device kwa sababu tumesha start simulation, then load it. Now let's go online and see kama bado kuna memory ya kuendelea ku add blocks. Kama itakataa tutaanza from the beginning. Monitor, unaona imekataa kwa sababu our device memory is full. So go offline. So I will erase this. Okay, I will just okay, let's say new here. Let's say new project. Let's say this is Pulse. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's wait on it. It's stuck a little bit. Okay, so Pulse timer, let's say, and say create. Do you want to change on the current? No, I don't want to change anything. Let me create new project. Okay, so here going to come to sim table, then double click on sim table and then call in the tags. Okay, I cannot see the tags here. All right, let me close this. No, let's go back to the same procedures again. Online, Start simulation, right? Let's wait on it. Wait on it. Okay, consider as trusted. Okay, load. Okay, from here say start module, then finish. Okay, now I have to go to um okay, minimize this, say compile, download this to device, consider as trusted. Okay, load. All right, and then go online and say monitor. Okay, now it's active. Then come here and click here. Let's wait on it. Okay, here we say new, say pulse, say create. Then wait on it. Then sim table, then colon the tags. Okay, now they're here. Okay, now let's see how a pulse timer works. So if we switch on the input on, it will hold the output for 5 seconds before going off. Then off. Again reset the input, start again. Even if you reset the input, it will make sure it finishes this preset time before going off. Okay, yes, all right. So that's a preset time. I'm a pulse timer. And then let's go offline and see the other time operation here. The other time operation here, the final that we're going to look after is timer on delay retentive. So instructions. So let me delete this. Click on this and then delete. Then let me hold this and drop here. Then okay. So this is a timer on delay retentive. So timer on delay retentive, what does it mean? How does it work? Ni kwamba it retains the accumulated time on input off. Yaani kwa mfano ulikuwa unaona before tukiwa na timer on delay, tukiwa na input high inasubiri for 5 second then output inakuwa high. Lakini ilikuwa kama unakuwa na input high alafu kabla 5 second hazijaisha the input is off, unaona timer ilikuwa ina reset inaanza tena from the beginning. Ukistart again inaanza count from the beginning. Kama ilikuwa 5 seconds ina reset inaanza tena from 0 to 5, right? But then timer on delay retentive yenyewe cycle tofauti ina hold the value that was there when the input was off. Yani kwa mfano kama ilikuwa input ilivyokuwa on time ambayo ilikuwa preset for 5 second imecount 1 2 3 alafu input ikawa off, the timer will hold the value kwamba we have ended at 3 seconds. Ukirudisha tena input inaendelea count from where it ended, like 4 5, then the output goes on. Okay, so it resumes the counting on input on or input back on, right? So the output turns on when the total time is greater or equal to the preset time, right? So basic operation, so let's first preset times, let's say 5 seconds, this is 5000 milliseconds. So lazima tuwe na reset switch. Tukitaka kureset lazima tuwe na reset switch. So let me go to show all tags. Show all tags. Let me have another input. Let's say reset switch. Reset switch. Inaweza kuwa switch, inaweza kuwa sensor ambayo inafanya resetting. And this address here is I, sababu it's an input. So I 0.1. Okay, so let's go back to the main. So here I'll create another switch here, which I will join it to the reset like that. And this one will be reset switch like that. Okay, so let me compile this. So nimesema when the input is on, this thing will wait for 5 seconds before output is on, lakini hata nikiswitch off the input it will hold the value. Kama ilikuwa imeishia kwenye 4, ita pause at 4, then nikiweka tena high input it will resume counting 4 5, then output will be on. So let's say we download this to the device, load it, and then after loading, let's say we go online, and then let's say we monitor. Okay, right here. So we go here. Let me load the tags again. I can highlight these ones and delete. Hiyo ni kwa ile time ambayo tulifuta. And then let's say I switch on the input. Let me switch on the input here. The input here on, then off. Umeona? So nilikuwa nimeswitch on input, nimeset hapa 5 second, lakini hapa imesha count to 171 millisecond ama 1 second. Unaona, if I switch on the input again, it will continue counting. Pause again. So you see, input, when the input is high, it counted it to 2 seconds, going to 3 seconds, 2 seconds and 371 milliseconds. So you see, ina hold the value, high reset timer. Input ikiwa off, high reset timer, ina hold alafu ina resume. So let's leave it to the end. So input, it counts to the end, and then the output becomes high. Now, hata kama tukisema output is off, input is off like this, you see the output continues being on unless otherwise you press the reset switch ama reset button, ama kama kuna reset sensor as the input, then you can reset the timer on delay retentive. So you can come here and I can press the reset switch, reset, and my timer is resetted. I can release this button. Okay, so I hope you have understood a lot about these are one of the most used time operations. You can try on the rest and see how they are responding and how they are reacting and how they are acting. But yes, these are one of the important time operations. The timer on delay, timer off delay, pulse timer, and timer on delay retentive. So yeah, I hope you have captured a lot. I'll see you in the next lesson. But for now, ciao.